What is up, guys? We got Angron. After some delays, he's finally here. And gonna do stuff to him. Sounds wrong. Sorry about that. I got a wee bit of COVID. I don't really have any ideas for him. I think it's gonna be a little bit like, well, I have one idea. I mean, of course, we're gonna turn him into a woman because reasons. Because why not? But how we're going to do that is that's not a given yet. I mean, I think we're gonna put a dump truck ass on him because that's just what we do here on this channel, and I don't want to disappoint you guys. So I'm assuming that the tail will have to go. Might repose him a little bit. Not sure, not 100%. Gonna resculpt the head. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be a brand new head, and I'm not sure. Trying to go for a bit more monstrous than I went with Magnus. The wings, from what I've heard, are really hard to magnetize, so I'm gonna magnetize them anyway. But I'm gonna do some cutting to make them easier to magnetize. And I'll probably remove some of the fiddly bits, because I fucking hate fiddly bits. Like little skulls and shit everywhere that's just asking to be broken. Yeah, that's the main plan. I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna glue some stuff together, like the legs and torso and shit, and I'm just gonna fuck around with it until I get a feel for it and get inspired. See you later. YouTube, okay. Trying to do this quick. This is where we're at with the main body. I decided to go with the standard position, not change anything in the stance. Cause I didn't feel like it. Yeah, just glue these together. You can see that this leg is actually, I have a brass rod going through it, and it's actually filled with milliput, making it very, very solid. Because I have learned from last time, when Big Bird, like the Lord of Change, his foot just broke right off when I wanted to remove it from the base. Glued this together, moved some of the abs to be able to move him a little bit more freely. Also, he has very little midriff, so he's gonna be a little taller when I'm done with him, / her. Of course, I'm not gonna use this tail, which is sad, because it's a super cool tail. But I don't know, I feel like this could be a cool trunk for a Chaos Elephant at some point, so putting it in my bits box for now. Well, I still got this in hand. Gonna use this main thing, just that I raised it 2 millimeters and cut away this part so I can fit one of these. And I actually did glue the bottom that I right now cannot find where his foot goes. I probably dropped it somewhere. Anyway, but I realized that I need to put Magnus in first, so that was just stupid. Because I'm gonna magnetize him on this foot, and then he can stand around like this. And I will keep filling up the middle part, like pretty much probably fill the torso just to make sure that there's you can grab the torso and remove him from the base without anything breaking. Oh yeah, here's the part. Of course I have one main brass rod, and I also have 2 smaller brass rods to prevent him from twisting. But now that I realize, okay, yeah, I probably still need this is round. But it also had this square peg. Yeah. Good to be thorough. I magnetized the arms, just for simplicity. Well, sorry, I have COVID. Which means that the cables that go from the arm here, this is the wrong one, but I won't use those. I'll probably add some cables on myself and just poke him to the elbow. More about these. Not a super fan of this pose, especially the right arm. It looks weird, so I think I'm gonna cut off the wrist and just change the angle. Perhaps do that on both weapons, give it a more like arms spread open look. And I'm not... I mean, I think these weapons are incredibly boring. Like, the most generic core weapons you could ever think of. So I was thinking I'm gonna replace this, and like from here on up. But I think I'm gonna cut out the weapon and see if I can accomplish something first before I start snipping these off. Because if I fuck them up and I don't come up with anything cool, it's kind of a waste. Because I do kind of don't like sculpting weapons. But I want them to look more demonic with like eyes and flesh and shit. So, I don't know. We'll see. Well, yeah. The big magnetizing project is, of course, the wings. Because they don't have anywhere good to attach. Or like, you don't have a good place to magnetize them. And since there's no good place, I've decided that we're just gonna go with the place that where the magnets can fit, and then we'll make the rest of it work. So here, I'm just gonna cut straight off here, because this is thick enough that you can put a magnet there, and you can just pop this on and off. And I will add like some tiny piece of armor or skulls or some shit to cover up the join. It'll be fine. Also, I have removed all the hair from the arms and legs and knees, elbows and shit. If you didn't notice that. Why I did that is because I think it's superfluous. It's an unnecessary detail. I don't know why they put fur everywhere. This is not a fucking space wolf. If I wanted fur, I'll go with space wolves. Yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna try to get healthy and keep going. Bye-bye. Yo, YouTube. I hope you can't hear the kitchen fan in the background. I guess I'll find out when I listen to this. But if you do, I will not do any changes. Deal with it. Magnetize the wings. This turned out pretty good. They have like a natural, like, this is where they want to be. And this means I can even use the cable that runs from here to the backpack. Happy accident, I guess. So this one as well. Glue the arms on too. I've been working a bit on the pose, as you can see here. Added this. Removed all the spikes because I was just getting sick of getting poked by them, and kind of like this new smoother version. I tried to attach this in a good way and just did not fucking manage at all. So I've put in this big ass blob of a milliput and I'm waiting for it to dry and see if I can sort of attach it on this in some way. Also, I have carved down the legs a lot. Since I want space to sculpt the muscles, and then I can just resculpt the armor on top because these parts don't have a lot of detail. So that should be easy. As for the weapons, I felt like a bit of like a middle schooler, or you know, when you were a little kid, you were just sitting around with your friends drawing cool shit, like, oh, let's draw cool weapons. So this is the sword idea, and this is the axe. And I was just thinking, like, we want some fleshy part, a blade, and out of the flesh we want eyes and spikes coming out. And I just think that this looks really mean. So I've cut that out, and actually I cut them out, and since I got through more than one layer of paper, I can just use these instead. So I'm gonna remove these and start working on them. Yep. Ta-ta for now! So YouTube, what's up? Actually recording this a second time because I fucked up the first time, which sort of ruins the effectful thing I did here. Because this had spikes. I had sculpted spikes on top of this. This is actually a really good idea if you want to add some spikes. Cut out some really thin plastic card and you can attach it with sprue glue, which gives it some extra stability. As you can see, like, this is just sprue glue, and it's kind of like, as you can see, I can fuck around with it a lot and it doesn't fall off. It's great. Then I put milliput and sculpted the spikes here, but I forgot to like scour it with my knife first, so it just fell off, and it looked really cool to do that live. Be like, yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, this sword, it was more obvious when I had the spikes on it, but it's just way too big now, and I feel I'm gonna have to start over. But I'm gonna keep this because it might be good to use for like a great and clean one eventually. Like they use cleavers, right? Also, this is like a super great thing. since I've drilled these, I mean, I feel like these, when you're doing something in thin plastic card, you should drill these as soon as possible. Just because if you drill them like after you put on the milliput, they can just like poke the milliput when you accidentally poke out of the plastic, because they're really hard to drill straight. Also, when you drill, advice, put your fingers like this, because then you feel sort of when it starts poking out on one of the sides, so you know where to stop instead of just drilling straight through and just turning everything to shit. Also, hobby advice, just using this blue stuff to make a handle when you're sculpting, fucking ace. I had this for this guy as well, but I removed it, but it was like here. And now I've added a little bit of a handle, because I realized I wouldn't use this part. I would just pop this on top. This guy I like. This guy looks cool, and I feel like it's the right size. It's just a big badass axe that I like more than the chain axe. I don't think I'm a chain axe guy. So that's going swell. Main body. Got a big behind, because, you know, no one's surprised when I'm the one sculpting. Thighs also coming along. I should do the top of the thighs eventually. Also, she's got breasts. They look kind of weird right now. I've just put it here so I can start, like, have an idea of where to sculpt armor, and it's probably gonna look a lot better when I'm eventually done. I did try to use the Angron's actual armor, because I thought that this armor looks pretty fucking cool. But it didn't turn out great, and now I just fucked up this pretty cool looking piece. So, you know, win some, lose some. I can live with that. As for the head, I've actually taken my own advice and not started with the head way too late. And I think this head is it's kind of the right size. So the idea is it's going to be pretty much the same as Angron, like neck poking out in a hunched way, because every demon, like Lord Demon model, has to have big wings and be hunchbacked. That's the Games Workshop guarantee. But for this, I think I'm gonna take the teeth from Angron and put in the mouth here. Then I want to sculpt like some really angry and tired eyes, like with big bags under the eyes, broken nose, and a lot of cables coming, or like at least 5 larger green stuff ones, and then some maybe metal ones that is just gonna be like a piece of wire to make the butcher's nails. I think this might, if I manage to pull this off and actually get these teeth popped in here in the mouth correctly, I think it's gonna look pretty fucking sick. I have also started to entertain the idea of just removing the wings, because goddamn, I don't like wings, and these, I really don't like these wings. And I just feel like it would be a lot cooler without the wings. But I don't know. It could also, I mean, just for gaming purposes, it would be a mistake. Anyways, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. See you later. YouTube, back at it again. Quick update, the wings. Sculpted this to fill in the gap. This wing, it turned out great. You can see it sort of sticks in place. This wing I did the same thing. I think I cut off a little piece here, and it's not as great. Gonna have to do something about that. I think I'll probably sculpt this part a little larger. Should work. Give it something to hang on to, and hopefully it just won't break off immediately if I anchor it correctly. No progress on the weapons. I'm putting this away because it won't be used. As for the face, I added the teeth, and I sculpted some more, and I think this, I'm gonna scrap this and start over. I don't know, I just look at it from the side. I feel like the face looks flat, like it's not rounded. Like a face, I feel like the face looks a lot better if you like manage to round it. So I could add more clay, but I feel like the actual placement of the teeth is limiting. since I have to work around those, and they were just, I guess, they're too large. I had to mount them in a weird way, and now looks weird from the side. From the front, the mouth looks crowded, and the teeth, it looks like a vampire. I don't like it. I did, however, just have a little, so I could put the face in place like this, and I'll probably make it less hunchbacked than the original model. I'm gonna have to do some cutting here probably, just to make room for it, make it look natural. And I'm gonna go for a more human face. I don't feel like this works. This just, nah, it's not for me. Which brings me also to this. As you can see, now there's abs. I've added some more detail here just because rib cage. Had some problems with these details, so I just sort of filled them up a little bit. Try to continue this part. I'm probably gonna add some like more spike-ish things in the middle to make him fit. And the thighs are done. And this was actually a lot of work. For the first iteration of this, like I hadn't really enough room here, so the thighs sort of like met here in the middle, and there was no crotch area, which just looked real fucking weird. So I did actually buy myself a Dremel, so I could just like Dremel out the insides and make room. And then I just had to sort of like change the angle of the thigh. Instead of going this way, I had to like angle it like that, so the mid of the thigh sort of attached to the body a little bit further out. And now, I mean, it's pretty much, it's good. Yeah. So, I'm not sure. I think I'm just gonna sculpt some more back here, like fill in the detail that disappeared after I removed the fur. And then resculpt like the thigh armor on top here. Eventually. So yeah, and that and a new head. I mean, I feel like I've gotten a little bit stuck now. Like I had a good pace, and then sort of when like the sword stopped working, and then this fucked up, I lost my velocity. But you know, I'm gonna get back on the horse now. Yeah. See you later. Bye bye. YouTube, big things coming at you. First things first, the arms. Glued this in place, and I also realized that I did not like the chains at all. So I used my trusted Dremel to remove the chains. If you don't know where the chains are, they're around the arm here, and they are around the weapon, which is not a look I'm particularly a fan of. So did that on both the arms. Also cut this arm off and reattached it. I attached it with the sprue goo here, and here on the inside I put a metal, just a metal wire, and then that was kind of like bent around itself a couple of times. So it just went drilled and glued into this place, and then it went up here, and here was like a big mess. So I just shoved clay around it, and now it's really stuck there. You can do this, it's good fun. Wings. I have removed pretty much all the clay I had, because it felt very brittle when I was trying to keep it in place with these really thin layers of green stuff milliput mix. Because, I mean, while working with it, it came off a couple of times. So I started playing around with using sprue goo. And this is a mixture of parts, like just shavings and cutting pieces of this a sprue from the miniature of the month. And just layering that and sprue goo and like really thin, like just shavings that you put on top to give the sprue goo somewhere to adhere to. That took fucking forever to dry, and it's still a little bit soft. But right now, I feel like now it's good enough that I can work on top of it. So I have filed it down a little bit, more like scraped it. Now I can see this wing stays in place really well, mostly due to these parts. These were just two pieces of sprue. I glued one here, and then a lot of sprue goo. Also glued piece of sprue here And this part, and like all these parts that look a little bubbly, that part is only sprue goo. Sprue goo dries very bubbly. Oh yeah, I was gonna try and show you the other one. The other one is, I was about to say it was not as good. I thought it wasn't as good. Maybe. Okay. Okay, so one is obviously better than the other, but they stay in place now. So now I'm just gonna sculpt some more armor up here, some more armor here, so like this joint is a bit covered, and cover this hole again for like the second, third, fourth time. I don't remember. I've done it a couple of times by now. Main body. We got a power sports bra, which I feel looks pretty good. And I've checked so these cables can also attach around here on both sides. So if I want to reattach cables, I got a lot of space for that. Redid the legs, or like the leg armor, and the sculpted trim on top of that. I don't really like sculpting trim, and I feel like I say a lot of things I don't like sculpting, but it is kind of true. I like a lot of things are really shitty to sculpt. Back of the legs, kind of quick, but I think it looks nice. And I took the belt buckle from the original model and glued it here, so it's covered up the last part of the abs. And I made this belt that I just kind of freestyled. I had no idea, so I just did something and then sculpted with pure green stuff for the first time in a while. And I had real problems with how hard it was for it to attach to something. Like I really have to work to get it to stay in place. But now it's there and I won't touch it. Moving forward, resculpt the detail on the inside of the arms, put some new detail on the outside here, and of course fix this joint so it looks better. And this, as I talked about, also looked at the positioning of the wings. I feel like I'm gonna move them a bit so that they look a little better. Yeah, it's hard to show. Just flopping around. You'll see it eventually. Also got tried a new head. I haven't really, I don't know, I feel like I'm just gonna end up sculpting the head for like the last parts anyway, when I can attach a neck and shit. Well, time to get to it. See ya. Right, YouTube. Got an open window filming live, so might be some noise. Apologize. But don't care enough that I'm gonna redo it if something sounds too much. This is done. This took a lot more sessions than I thought it would, but it turned out okay. I mean, this is a bit uneven, a little messy, but I kind of like the look of it better than the original, so it stays. Same here, it's a bit messy, but it's fine. This, actually, after dremeling, all the teeth were left, and I could have just fixed some of the damages that were on them. But after doing that, the original teeth were so small and it left a really big space in between them that just looked flat and weird. So I decided I cut them off and I added larger teeth just to fill out the gap. And as you saw here, I added an extra strap. Yeah, that's done. Weird thing now is that without the chains, I really like, I mean, I like the the original weapons better, so I think I'm gonna keep them. Maybe I'll make this blade a bit more chaotic with like spikes or something coming out of it. And I also considered removing these chain teeth for some like more teeth, but I don't know. Just right now I'm really happy I kept them, so I didn't fuck them up. The arms, since this is the one I reposed, this needed to redo some detail. Also, since I didn't really look at the detail of the arm with the detail left, when I sculpted the second arm, I kind of made a tricep that looked very different. And I liked that tricep better, so I just sculpting the same one here. It needs a little more detail. This was something I just threw together yesterday when I was really uninspired. Also removed like all of the veins, because I'm, I don't know, like, since I'm resculpting so much flesh, and that flesh I don't really want to replace the veins on. It just looks weird that there are a couple of veins left. This is the easiest way to remove veins, as you can see here. Your trusty mold line remover, which is weird. I remember I recommended one like these to a guy on Twitter, and he was like, "Yeah, I've used them, and they're really shit for removing mold lines." And I realized I pretty much actually never used these for mold lines, but I really like them for scraping. They're great for that, so it's a tool I really love. I made some armor here, and then I immediately fucked that up by removing the sort of armor fit that it had here, because I had sculpted a little bit. And then I decided that, you know what, I don't want this to be green clay. I want all of it to be plastic in the join. And now you can see how I do when I want to add more plastic to something. I've added plastic shavings, as you can see, and it doesn't matter that they're, as you can see, they're a little too wide, because you can just, after it's dried, you cut them down. So it's just on top of this, I'm gonna add sprue goo, and then I'm gonna put them next to an open window, because sprue goo kills your brain cells at an alarmingly high rate. And actually, weirdly enough, I used to have, this is extra thin cement, that's quick setting. I thought that, I only bought this because it was the only one that was in stock on my store, and I used it for sprue goo. But now that I was sort of running out, last time I ordered, they only had the regular cement, cementy. Yeah, that's how we pronounce it. So I filled this one up with a bit more from that, and I feel like that one smells a lot more and kills more of your brain cells. So quick setting, that's the one I would recommend for sprue goo, just based on that. But this, I'm just gonna slather on a lot of sprue goo in the gaps and on top and all around this. And I think that's pretty much, oh yeah, we got a tabard. Some decency. And this was simple. Just first I did a basic tabard in milliput, and after that was done, I sort of cut it down a little bit to get the shape actually the way I wanted it. And then I more or less covered it in green stuff milliput mix and sculpted the details. You can see it's a little messy in here because I had to cut it down, and it just, yeah. You won't see that part anyway, so it's fine. I think I had a little bit somewhere that I had to fill in, like, oh yeah, here. But that's pretty much done. I'm gonna move on to the trim on the sports bra. And then it's time to attach the arms. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah. Later, hater. No, you're not a hater. You're liking this. Thanks for that. Bye-bye. Alright, YouTube, time for a quick one before I go too far or whatever. Look at the base. I added this extra rock. Consists mostly of aluminum foil. Got a little too large, but you know, good enough. Need to add some skulls and some texture to this. And as you can see, every time I've had clay left when I sculpted something else, I just smushed it here. That's how I've built this piece by piece. This part, tabard is done. Belt is done. I tried doing this a couple of times, fucked it up, and then in the end I added this weird back piece of the belt. And it's good enough. Glued a little feetsies, the toes is the word I'm looking for. Glue the toes. Also I did this. I think I like doing trim now, because this trim just turned out badass. Sick as shit. And also glued the arms in place. So if we attach it, it now looks like this. And I am liking this pose. Ta-da! More than that, I finally managed to well, I redid this part, and I did all of this in just one sitting, so this is like one solid part of clay, and I decided that this is a better place to keep it than having thin layers along the wings, because they're just so thin, you know. Making this large spike will keep it together and hopefully make it not break. And I've also, as you can see, the armor that I finally, after multiple iterations, managed to do. And it was quite tricky, because like this join is really large. And at first I didn't like this, but then I slept on it on advice from my girlfriend, and then I added trim to it, making it look like this. This is also one of the reasons that I'm starting to like doing trim. I'm getting the hang of it now, and I think it looks pretty sick. And that's a meeting I have in like 5 minutes. So that's why I need to wrap this up. But if you have a sharp eye, you can also see that I cut down these parts, so that they are ready for attachment here. And that's pretty much it. Also shaved this down, did the same on the inside of the shoulder pads, because you know, those attachment points just look fucked. Okay, see you in a bit. Yo. So I attached the wings, and this was actually a little special, a little trickier than one might think, since I didn't have a lot of contact points after cutting them down. So what I did was, I mean, they were hollow, so I took some metal wire and sort of messed it up like something like this, and I pushed it in, because like this area inside here is larger than the little gap here. So you could make it sort of, if you twisted it in a way, it was like you couldn't really pull it out anymore. And then I filled it with milliput, which made it kind of impossible to do the same. Did that on both sides. And then I crossed them like this. So this one went over here, you can see them, and this one went over here. And then I sort of anchored them the same way inside the arm on the other side. And I also added more putty like down, so the arm putty goes from the inside here to the inside here, so it's sort of a U shape that should, you know, make that sturdier, so that you can. I just wanted a model that if someone wanted to like pick it up by the arm won't come off. Like now, this is pretty much solid milliput by now. It's sturdy as shit. But you know, then when that was in position, or because like the point of that was it gave me freedom to put them in shape, and like since the metal rods were anchored, I could put the wings in place and sort of style them where I wanted them. And when I was happy with the position, I added more milliput on the inside. I mean, I let the first thing dry, of course, and then I filled up the inside and sort of pushed milliput. So as you can see here, I left sort of the space between the plastic. So, and you could probably have waited till the milliput was dry, but I didn't. Then I just slapped a lot of sprue goo. So you can see here, like the whole area is covered in sprue goo, and underneath the sprue goo is the milliput. So this is firmly in place. See, I can hold it. I mean, I didn't want someone just trying to take the wings off and then it just. Now it looks like that. I also glued the spikes, so it's getting close, as you can see. Some things I did was the thing I was laughing at right now. It wasn't this. It was as you can see here. This part I had to cut in two, because I mean you couldn't put it in place anymore. But that doesn't really matter. As you can see, I have so I cut it in two. And I realized, I mean, I'm gonna do something about this. It's like so I can put the head in a more natural pose than this. I mean, I know Games Workshop, like every monster model they have has to be hunchbacked and winged, but I don't have to do that. So, I mean, it will still be a thick ass neck with big lats and shit. But it will, like, the angle of the neck will be more natural, which I like. This part I will probably not use. And yeah, we're really getting close. I've tried seeing like how the shoulder pads fit with the wings now, and it doesn't fit at all on this arm. As you can see, it gets in the way. So it doesn't look natural. You can't put it here-ish, which is kind of where you want it. Yeah. On the other arm, though, it looks good. So I'm thinking that's where I put the World Eater's shoulder guard. Like that. And this one I will just leave bare. I will probably remove the last of these vents, because there's like 2 left on the arms and 2 left on the wings, and it's like, why the fuck am I even keeping those for? Cover them up. And yeah, if I had done as I said and started sculpt, well, I did start and sculpt the head, I just didn't make a cool one that I liked. But if I had the head done by now, I would be almost done. It's just tiny things to fix here and there, and it's really, I can't really fit it under the camera anymore. But it's getting close, real close. Just small fixes, the head and, well, the muscles here that attach to the wings. Glue this in place after I'm done, because I don't want to poke my finger on it. Yeah. It's looking good. See ya. Yo, YouTube. So I was looking at my footage, and the last footage I had for this model was in like May, middle of May, sometime like that. And tomorrow is the 1st of October, so it's been a while. And you can see how, compared to last video, I have done more sculpting on the arms and the attachment points here around the wings, so they're properly attached to the shoulders. Of course, here we've got this going to be glued in place eventually. I did a lot of trim just when procrastinating. So I put trim around here. I think I've improved the trim on the sides. I really started enjoying doing this trim, so it's a lot of trim. Yeah, can't really remember if I did anything more. I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. Well, the problem has been that I've been working on the face, and well, this is what it looks like right now. Oh, great, thanks. Because I've done the face a couple of times, like twice as trying to make it without this rebreather, and once before this with the rebreather when it was more like large and angular, just it was too large. So now then I made this when sort of like this round, a round thing in the middle that. I don't know, I think there's like some 30k Horus Heresy Space Marines that has that, so I thought that looked nice. And then I added like a bronze mask with a beast face around it. I had the teeth for so long, like this has been lying around on my desk for, I don't know, since like June. And today I added this, and I mean, it's not perfect, but now I'm like, fuck it, I just want to get this done and, you know, not have it standing around on my desk anymore. So I'm just gonna power through. Yeah, let's fuck this pig, as they say. Bam! So, did this. Used to have ears, or she used to have ears, so cover them up. Don't really like the ear cover up. Don't like the shape of the head. I feel like the problem is that what are all the cables supposed to end in here? In the back. Now I'm just gonna remove this and try to make the back of the head smaller, so I can put the ears back. A lot of work, time to redo it. Fuck me. Okay, I have done it. I removed all the cables and now it looks like this. And I like this. I mean, this looks nasty. It's just a mashup of cables going into the back of the head. For doing this, I just took the cables that I tore off the back before and I just slapped them down 1 or 2 at a time. And then I added more in between the ones and just, you know, where I could fit them, like here and one that goes down to the neck. And in the end, I had this sort of like this just lump of scar tissue in the back where they all ended. So I cut away. This is actually a belt buckle from the old Khorne Berserkers. Oh, thank you for moving the zoom camera. That was useful. Yeah, it's a belt buckle from an old Khorne Berserker that I cut out and added. And now she looks like this. Her forehead is a bit wrinkly. I like this. I mean, it just looks fucking nasty.
And now it's time to attach this. And then we're pretty much done. Yay!
Yo, YouTube. Look at this. Oh, dang. I am liking this. I mean, okay. This is kind of plain, but it looks alright, and no one is looking there anyway, except for you guys now, so stop it! A little bit of green stuff here, because I have drilled straight through to make sure they're extra stable. Added this one too, just... This shoulder looked a little empty, it had no detail, so I thought, add it. Added this, bit of cleavage. Yeah, she's done. So, putting her all together, this is the base. It's like the first miniature I made with a proper base. Okay, and she's fucking huge. Let's see here. Wing. Now what? Let's start with the weapons. Okay. So, got the axe, gave myself a little space here so that the shoulder guard doesn't touch the arm protection. So we got that, and then we pop on the wings. Terribly happy with how this came out. Why did I say terribly happy? Just started talking. I feel like it turned out okay. I mean, there are some things. The head is a bit large. The wing armor is a bit thick there in the middle where it attaches to the wing. I would probably want to replace the weapons properly. Maybe if I had bought a Scar brand, I would have replaced the weapon with Scar brand's axes probably, because these look wimpy. Yeah, I still don't like large wings. Games Workshop should start putting wings on their large models and just come up with something better. But I'm liking, I'm liking the leg armor. I'm liking all this trim that I've sculpted. I think that most part of this model is they're really neat. It's okay. I mean, there's this sort of, I feel like there's a gap, stylistic gap between the head and the rest. Like, it has a lot of cables, and the rest of the body has no cables, and I could add some cables, but this has been on my desk for over a year now, and I want to be done with it. So I'm gonna declare it done by now. Yep, time for... I was gonna say something fancy, but no, it's just time to spin it around. Bam. Alright, forgot I usually talk during these. I don't know, subscribe, like, comment, do stuff. Whatever makes you feel better. Other than that, thanks for watching and have a good one. Bye.